What's up, Cricketers? Today I'm going to be talking to you about 10 must-haves for your Cricut craft room. These aren't obvious ones like a Cricut machine or vinyl, mats, or weeding tools. These are actual items that I have in my craft room that help me so much when I use my Cricut machine. If you want to purchase any of the items that I discuss in this video, I'll leave links to all of them in the video description. Every one of the items mentioned in this video is something that I own, that I use regularly, and that I think is important. We're going to do a countdown of my top 10 must-have Cricut items. Make sure you watch this video all the way until the end so you don't miss out on any important content. Before we go ahead and start this countdown, I would appreciate if you liked, subscribed, and turned on your notifications so you don't miss out on any of my new content. The first item that I'm going to talk to you guys about today is Lysol wipes. Now you're probably wondering, why would I want Lysol wipes for my Cricut craft room? It's not so much the wipes that we want, but it's actually the empty containers. Now we're in the middle of a global pandemic, so you probably have a lot of Lysol wipes laying around. Make sure you do not throw away the empty containers. These containers are awesome for holding your vinyl scraps in. Whenever I'm weeding my Cricut vinyl, I like to take my scraps and put them right into the Lysol wipe container. The next must-have item on my list is a grocery bag holder, like what you see here. I don't actually use these to hold my grocery bags in, but they work fantastic as a vinyl holder. Make sure that if you hang them on your wall, you don't put them too close to one another, like side by side, because when you go to pull the vinyl out, if you have another one right next to it, it's going to get stuck in the next holder. I've seen people do this in Cricut groups where they hang it on their wall like 4 side by side, not really thinking, and then when they go to pull their vinyl out horizontally, it gets stuck on the next one, and then they stuffed them all on the top. So I have all of mine stacked on top of one another. The next must-have Cricut essential item on my list is coffee filters. Why the heck would we need a coffee filter for a Cricut machine? The reason is because they are a perfect lint-free wipe. Whenever you're using a permanent vinyl, you want to make sure that your surface is clean. The way that I do this is with a lint-free wipe and rubbing alcohol. A lot of times I'll get my rubbing alcohol at the dollar store. Coffee filters are a great lint-free wipe. They're not going to leave any kind of residue after you wipe down your cup. Some people will use something like toilet paper or a cotton ball or paper towels to clean their items, but that doesn't work because you may be taking off dust, but you're replacing that dust with lint from the towel. You need a lint-free wipe, which the coffee filter works perfectly for. The next item on my list is a t-shirt alignment tool. Many people struggle with making t-shirts because they don't know exactly where to put the decal on the shirt. You can buy t-shirt alignment tools on Amazon. They're very cheap and they line up with your shirt and they help you figure out how to center it, and it has a ruler on it that makes aligning the decals on your shirt very simple. If you plan on using a heat press, EasyPress Mini, any kind of heat transfer material, you're going to want to use a Teflon sheet. The proper way to heat transfer a shirt is by putting the shirt down, then you put your heat transfer vinyl decal on top, and then on top of that you want to put your Teflon sheet. Then you're going to heat press on top of that. The Teflon sheet acts as a layer in between your heat transfer vinyl and your heat press. And you don't want the heat press to directly touch your vinyl, so you're supposed to use a Teflon sheet to go over the heat transfer vinyl. The next item on my Cricut craft room must-have list is an ironing board. I like using an ironing board because it folds up flat, I can hang it on the wall, it's out of the way, and it stays clean. I don't want to work on projects on something like a couch or a table that might be sticky or have dog fur. I really like to have a clean, sturdy surface. Ironing boards are also awesome if you're going to go to a craft fair and do personalization on the spot. It's nice to have an easy table that just pops right up and folds flat. This ironing board wall mount wasn't originally part of my countdown items, but I found it when I was looking for ironing boards on Amazon, and I thought that this is a great way to store your ironing boards. The next item that I'm going to talk to you guys about is compressed air. The reason that I like to use compressed air is because it's great for cleaning out your Cricut machine. Sometimes you'll get little bits of vinyl stuck in your machine or in the rollers on the track. So if you use compressed air, you can just spray out the machine and keep it really clean. This is a precise cutting machine. You don't want any dirt and debris to get stuck in there and jam up your machine. So it's really important to keep your machine clean. Compressed air is great for that. Next we have Goo Gone. If you're making or selling something, you don't want to leave the UPC barcode sticker on your item. You want to take off any labels, stickers, and a lot of times they're really sticky and hard to get off, especially on wine glasses or on the hammers that I make for Father's Day. Those stickers are so hard to get off. You can try using isopropyl alcohol, but if that doesn't work, my go-to is Goo Gone. You can get the little bottles at the dollar store, or you can also get larger bottles on Amazon. You want to soak the sticker in the Goo Gone and then peel it off. The last thing that you want to do is sell a wine glass with a sticker on the bottom showing people that you got it from the dollar store. Remove any labels that show where you originally got the blank from, add your vinyl, and then sell. The next item that you should really have in your Cricut craft room is called VLR Vinyl Remover. This is used to remove heat transfer vinyl when you make a mistake. So let's say you just finished up a shirt and you noticed that there's a piece of vinyl stuck to the side or there was a typo and you need to get it off without leaving a residue behind. The only way to do this is with VLR Vinyl Remover. The way that you're supposed to use this is by turning the shirt inside out and applying the VLR to the inside, the back of the vinyl. I have also used VLR on my elephants and I put it right on the top. So even though you're supposed to soak it from the back, I've also had it work by applying it to the top of the vinyl. I just take a Q-tip and I put a little bit of the vinyl remover on it, and then I just gently rub it onto the elephant ear, and that will get the vinyl off along with any kind of residue. It works great. I've used it a number of times. We all make mistakes. But just because you make one small mistake, it doesn't mean that you should have to scrap the whole project and throw away the shirt. Mistakes are fixable. The last and final item on my countdown is a fire extinguisher. Safety should be your number one priority, and when you're working with something like a heat press that heats up to several hundred degrees, you want to make sure that you have a fire extinguisher near. Heaven forbid you ever have a fire, you need to be prepared. I'm going to tell you guys a true story. I was using my 5-in-1 heat press. I was doing some sublimation mugs, and thankfully I was standing right next to my machine because all of a sudden I noticed that my mug press started smoking. I turned off my machine right away. I pulled my mug out of there. Thankfully I was right there to see the smoke because that could have gotten bad really quick. I replaced the melted mug press with a new one, but I've still been too afraid to use it, so I haven't yet. Just please do me a favor and make sure you have a fire extinguisher in your house. Smoke alarms are good too, but I don't have that on my list. Just a reminder, if you want to purchase any of the items that I mentioned in this video, just go down to my video description and you'll find links for everything. I want to know what you guys think of this list. Do you have all of these items in your craft room? Is there any must-have items that you have that I have forgotten? I'd love to hear it in the comments. If you learned something of value today, I would love if you liked, commented, subscribed, turned on notifications. All of that engagement really helps my YouTube channel grow.